Okay, so I'm going to start my video in 3, 2, 1. Hello, good evening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Zahiratul Maufira. You can call me Zahira, or you want to call me by my nickname, which is Zia. And I'm going to post this video on my YouTube channel. I'm government science student, social and policy faculty, Universitas Syiah Kuala, which is stayed in Banda, Aceh province, Indonesia, Southeast Asia. So if you're really interested to know more about my university and also with my faculty or my major, you can just click the some link that I already put on my description box. So don't worry to also ask me a question about that. Okay, so in these videos that I would like to give explanation from every conclusion that I have got from every team that already did presentation in my class, which is called government financial management or government financial governance, which one that obviously you prefer. I don't mind about that. So this subject is lectured by Mr. Reza Fahlevi, and this subject is on my 5th semester by this year, which is 2023. Alright, so before we talk about the conclusion of every team that already did presentation, I would like to give more information about my major. Because I study Indonesia, and the system of government here probably different than from any other countries in the world. So it's basically we have decentralization. We have decentralization, so it's mean like we have a central government and we also have local government. It doesn't matter the scale. It can be mean province government or even regency government. It's called local government. So as I said, let's start by the first name, and it's talk about fiscal policies. So what does mean fiscal policy? So the fiscal policy is when a country have to manage the income and the outcome of a country to keep the balance of the country itself, especially in economic and growth of the economy in that country. And what are some of the purpose of the fiscal policy? And the first one is could be stabilization, distribution, and also allocation, and so much more. You're gonna ask what is the example of the fiscal policy. So I'm going to give you one example. And lately in Indonesia, we had the policy, it's called tax amnesty. So the tax is obviously one of the income when Indonesia, it's basically one of part how Indonesia get the income, which is called the tax. When the policy is about tax amnesty, when the government delayed all the tax that's supposed to be paid by people, but they delayed it because they see so much people not pay the tax, and also delayed the punishment for people who didn't pay the tax by at the moment. Why? Because it can increasing the income of Indonesia. Why not? Because when government delayed it, so people just like feel, well, it's already delayed, so they just going to start it from the zero. For example, if government delayed the tax by this month, it's mean the next month or all the month already passed by this year is not supposed to be paid. So it's only start by the new month when they start to pay. So yeah, it's increasing the income of Indonesia. We continue with a second team who did presentation, and that was about decentralization fiscal. Well, is it more word? Nope. So what does it mean exactly? So it obviously means the same like the first name that I already talked and explained about, but this kind of bit different because this fiscal thing is managed by local government, and just say like Aceh government, for example. And here we can increase our own income to manage our own economic or income or the growth of economy itself by our own government. So the purpose of the decentralization fiscal basically to make every local government to be more developed to build their own income. And how to government build their own income is going to be a big question. So to increase the income of the local government, Aceh can do a lot of things, and one of the thing is park. So you know what is, you know exactly what is park. So park is a place when you can park all your vehicle, right? And they ask you for money to park because that is a local government place or asset, and that is one of the example. Where government can increase the income is by that, and the other thing is like by government build some building that can they rent to the people, and the payment of that rent is can use to manage the income or the outcome of the government or local government itself. Decentralizations of the physical basically a good policy for local government, but beside of that it can increase a lot of bad things, and including the corruption. Why? Because when us central government giving a local government a right to manage their own income and outcome, it's really make the local government easier to corruption, because local government has their own right to monitoring and also for manage the money of the government. I mean the local government income. So let's talk about the third theme, and it's about the monetary policy. So what is the monetary policy exactly? So the monetary means the monetary policy means exactly when a country should manage the amount of money that is circulating in the country at that moment. It's like the money should not be much and should not be less. Why? Because it's really important. So that's why we're gonna learn about what is the purpose of the monetary policy. So I'm pretty sure that you have ever heard about inflations and deflations, right? So it's like the value of money can be much has a much value and also less value. So it's really important to country to manage it. The monetary policy mostly handled by the Bank Central of Indonesia, or we call it Bank Indonesia. And basically in the physical stocks, government gain the income by the tax. Is the more higher tax they get, it will increase the more income of a government, right? But in monetary itself, government start to think like how to make the interest decrease to make more economic grow in a country. For example, like people who do micro business, they need loan to get it from the bank. So if the loan is too much, like the interest is too much, they're not going to borrow the money from the bank, right? So this is the problem. So one of the example of the monetary policy. All right, now so about team fourth, or the fourth team is talking about central government income, and it's really interesting because in this team is talking about the central government basically collect all the income by all the province in Indonesia. It doesn't matter, because every people who live in Indonesia basically pay the tax they're supposed to pay to central government. Why central government income is really important in Indonesia, because it will defray all needs of every local government in Indonesia. Yeah, is it true? So we as local government need money and fund from central government to keep making policy or everything that can grow the economy and people needs in local government. And so it's really has a big control, and how how the central government can increase the income of the tax or even of the custom. You know what does mean the custom? I won't explain that more here because my thing is not that. So tax and also infestation is really help the central government to get more income and to defray all the money for local government. Now for the fifth team, and it's talking about local government income. So it's almost same like central government income, but different is the type of the tax that they collect based on that. And on the local government income, they also collect tax. So what kind of tax exactly they collect? Mostly about tax on the vehicle tax they collect of local government to keep increasing the income of the government itself. What's really important, of course, it sounds like a central government. So we as local government not just need the money from central government, but we also should make income for our own government, because it will fill the needs of the people who live in the local government. It's a lot of things that we need, for example, like health, education, and so much more. So how the local government increase the income is like by making some sort of grow in the government itself. For example, like the local government can build many building and they can rent it, or also they can find the innovation, and that can increase the income of local government itself. For example, like here we know about the tourism is really good actually, and for example, like the local government also scale on the profit, Regency district, and also for village. And here in province of Aceh, we have one village that's really famous, and it call it Gampong Nusa. So this is obviously innovation when village can gain the income by making the village become a destination of tourism. So if all village do that, I believe that every local government really has many income. Right, we already talked about the fifth team who did presentation about the first one about fiscal policy, and the second one about decentralization fiscal, and also with monetary fiscal, central government income, local government income. And now we're going to talk about the sixth team is talking about long-term development plans and short or medium plans development plans, and which is really important in government when they put all the needs of the people or what they supposed to do in 20 years or 5 years of the policy of that policy will be played. So it's really important when government just like making lists of the thing that they should meet, and it should make whatever is that can increasing the living of the country or local government, for example, about education, about economic, about health, and including everything. So this plan is really important to a country when they cut off like what is the most important for right now. It could be about SDGs, is about stunting, and so much more. So why this really important now in government financial management? Because for example, like for long term it's going to take for 20 years. So for the 20 years, and before that become a legal document, government should think about how much money they're going to spend in that program. Will that program really give a big benefit to people in the country? It has to be a thing. It's supposed to be a thing by government and by all the stakeholders are gonna make the program of itself. So 5 years is for a medium and 20 years is for long term. Alright, everyone, I just explained it, everything that I have made as conclusion from every team that already did presentation in my class. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I obviously waiting for your comment. So you probably want to share what is the policy in your country, including about monetary, fiscal, central government, also local government, whatever is that. Really interested to know more about your country. And please, if you think what I was explaining wrong about the way that explaining, you can also comment on my description below. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm Zahira. Just say bye.